Hey, welcome back to Daily Hope. I wonder, have you seen God show up in the details of your life lately? Now, I'll be honest, there's seasons of my life where I'm like, oh man, I see God's fingerprints all over. And there are other seasons of my life where I don't really see God showing up in the details. Now, for Mordecai, this godly Jewish man living in this very pagan society, he hasn't seen God show up a lot. There's a lot in his circumstances that are uncomfortable. Same for Esther, a little girl who grew up without a mom. God gave her this adoptive dad. There's some good things, but there's a lot of pain. There's a lot of trauma. There's a lot of difficulty. And yet, all of a sudden, in chapter 6, verse 1, we're going to start to see God working in the details in a way that just lines up one thing after another to lead to the deliverance of his people. Now, this is in response to the prayers of God's people when Esther said, Mordecai, tell everyone to pray for 3 days. The people prayed. The king had banquet number 1. Now, Haman has gone home and he plans to set up this impaling device for Mordecai. Chapter 6, verse 1. So right after banquet number 1, that night, the king had trouble sleeping. Now, I want to suggest to you this is no accident. God gives insomnia to the king on this night. Now, I'm not saying that anytime you can't sleep that's from God. A lot of times it's our own body chemistry and other things. But there can be times, this is definitely something God can do. And in this case, the king is unable to sleep. So what does he do? He orders an attendant to bring the book of the history of his reign so it could be read to him. Now, I'm going to summarize what happens next. It was recorded back in chapter 2 that years before this banquet that Esther just threw for the king, Mordecai had overheard a plot in the palace to assassinate the king. Back when that happened, Mordecai told Esther. Esther told the king, and it ended up saving the king's life. So as the king is restless and he can't sleep and someone's in his room reading the history, it comes to that story of how Mordecai saved the king's life. We're going to pick up there tomorrow, but what I want you to understand today is that God does have the ability to be in the details. He's not always changing every single thing, but I can tell you there have been times in my life where a car runs a red light and is this close to me, and God was in that detail of 2 or 3 inches different. God is in the details today. And I want you right now to just ask him to help you trust that he's in the details and maybe even open your eyes to help you see him in the details. Let's look for God in the details today. I'll see you tomorrow.